And alliances and allies still tied to him. Just a reminder.
But
I
not
got
just
all these people in my set.
But not just that, but also like, you know, doing it on Juneteenth, and the whole point that he was making is that like Drake's not part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that all kind of makes sense. You know.
And you know what also attributes to that is that might have caused a delay in the response because he's like, I need to get it to as close as Juneteenth as possible. But it should still be relevant when that comes out.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. He basically let Drake himself show how disconnected he was with the culture for real. Because like it's two different. I mean, you know, just from my vantage point, it's two different things. There's the culture as far as like hip hop culture, things like that, and everything that includes Puerto Ricans. That includes white. That includes everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's like a whole, you know, Hispanics, white people. Everybody's part of the hip hop culture. Black culture is a different thing. That's the thing that Kendrick kind of. I mean, not Kendrick, but that's the thing that Drake kind of showed. You know, kind of looked foolish on because he kind of fed right into Kendrick's hand, but also he proved Kendrick's point basically. Like, yeah, bro, you're showing that you're not connected to the black culture. Like, yeah, you're for this culture, but you're not really for, you know, who your dad is, you know, the actual, you know, the backstory behind this. Like that's another thing that they say about the Toronto thing, you know, being from Canada, where it's like, you're not really in the US seeing the same thing. So he's just so disconnected where it's like, you almost can't even, you know, really know what's going on because of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But to me also, one thing I've noticed, and this is because I know my family in the West Coast, in the Bay Area, still to this day, and the music and the rappers they listen to, Drake is out of touch with the West Coast. Same thing as that. Same thing as like the YG. I can't even think of another West Coast rapper that he has alliances to that tie him to the West Coast crowd. And the West Coast crowd don't listen to his shit like that.
Yeah.
Like my cousins don't fuck with his shit at all. And they're younger than me, same age as me. They just stick to the strict West Coast rappers, the classic dudes, the black rappers. Those are the people they follow. And that is the ties that Kendrick is also saying too. It's not just the black people, but also the West Coast.
Yeah, because
the West Coast, they don't
more
fuck
like
with you like
Calabasas.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Which for people, you know,
that's not West Coast. That's
exactly.
LA.
It's like you're going to the glamorous side, and you're kind of, you know, hanging with the stars and things like that. And it goes right back to the, you know, taken from the culture thing. You know, you like to come out here and enjoy the amenities and, you know, the stuff that hip hop has afforded you, but you're not really tapped in like that.
Yeah. And he used to have a Game. Remember when Game had him on that 100?
Yeah.
And Game hasn't pushed Drake at all. Then he went to YG, and I don't see any other West Coast rappers, big West Coast artists supporting Drake to this day right now.
I think the more that like, I think the thing that like was the beginning of like kind of, I wouldn't call it the demise of Drake because that's not going to happen, but just the beginning of people seeing the situation for what it really was him constantly latching on to the next big thing. Eventually those big things become in the industry and it's just, they're a part of the industry to the point where, you know what I mean, now the conversations are being had where the experiences are similar. And now everybody has this perspective of Drake being a leech. You know what I'm saying? Like you're leeching off the culture, basically.
I feel like also it's a thing where when you think about Drake and you think about, you know, the situation he's in just musically and the things he does and his coming from movies and TV in Canada, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a TV star. So it's kind of like people already had that thing in their head a little bit of like, okay, so you're basically playing a role because this is where you came from. You know, we saw you publicly, how you grew up. We knew what you were about. Now you're telling us something different. And then on top of that, I feel like a big shift that happened recently was that album that he dropped. I don't remember the name or whatever, but it was an album that he dropped with a lot of features with new artists. and a lot of like those legacy type artists, none of them were on it. You know what I'm saying? Like established artists, you know, like you're saying, Joe, you know, those tapped in West Coast artists, like you're saying, Joe. I mean, like you're saying, Quincy, just like other people in the industry, like showing their lines or whatever. He was rapping with all these new dudes and rapping like them. And a lot of those dudes that he had on that album, like they're kind of nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the features go. And it's him attaching himself to those microwave artists and not really having those ties in the culture for real, that is kind of like coming back and biting him now.
Did we share the video of Pete Davidson about him being on SNL, Drake being on SNL?
Nah, I don't think we talked about that.
So Pete Davidson was Pete Rosenberg.
Oh, Peter Rosenberg. Okay,
yeah. And Peter Rosenberg asked him, he's like, oh, what did Drake give y'all when he went to do the SNL? And he's like, oh, he's a great guy. He gave us like custom OVO SNL jerseys. He's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Drake is the greatest actor in the world. He's like, this dude's great. He has literally played a gangster rapper for 20 years, and he's been so good at it. And Peter Rosenberg laughs. He's like, no, he's like, people take this as a diss, but he's like, I'm trying to tell you, he has literally played this character of being a gangster rapper. He has played a character that he found fit and that people believe for all this time. And he's a super sweet fucking guy. He's like, he's not a gangster at all. He's a really nice fucking dude, but he's an actor and he plays this character to be an artist, and he successfully developed a career from it. And this is like one of the most hidden quotes I ever seen that doesn't go viral. And it explains a lot about who Drake is.
Yeah.
And that's why Kendrick Lamar called him B-Rap for Malibu's Most Wanted.
Literally.
Why? Don't be hating.
Yeah.
It's something that when you grow up in that environment and you really see what it's about, like being around Black culture, being around the hip hop culture, just when you see it, you know when it's real. And I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people that I know that don't like Drake, that's always been their thing with him. It's like they see it and they can spot it from a mile away, because it's something I mentioned before. Drake is that dude that you see at the club that you know he fake and he's just playing for the club.
I want to add one more point that Peter Rosenberg made that reminded me of Lester. That he's like, that's the quality between me and Drake, because I love Drake as an artist and I love the shit he made. He's a really good music maker, but when he acts out of character, I know that's not him. And that's what I don't like. That's exactly what he said.
It's like I've said before, man, I can make a greatest hits of Drake's songs, and I'm not even a Drake fan. I can just grab his singing stuff and his more vulnerable stuff, because that's Drake to me. You know what I'm saying? You hear it in the music. It's real. You know what I'm saying? You hear it with the writing, you hear it with the tones, you hear it with the way he's singing it. That's why he got all these ghostwriters for this new stuff, because it's not him, bro. It's not authentic. He needs writers because he's not telling his own story. All this tough guy mobster stuff, that's not you, bro. That ain't even almost you. You know what I'm saying? It's so like easy to spot when you've really seen somebody that's real. You know what I'm saying?
Is it kind of like, and sometimes I think about it, is it kind of like when a wrestler like, well, no, because these wrestlers, they're a lot true to their craft, but when a wrestler retires and you hear their like Hall of Fame speech and you realize they were nothing who they played themselves out to be that we loved about them.
But this like, is the difference in wrestling than music. In wrestling, he can act however he wants, but when he gets in the ring, you know that he's putting his body on the line. You can't fake that. You know what I'm saying? With Drake, it's like you see what he's doing and you can say, yeah, it's dope. But then you see, quote unquote, him in the ring, which is what he's doing, how he moves, how he operates, you know, like all that is calculated. That's the thing that's funny to me about Drake and other people like this too, because it's not just Drake. But Drake is very meticulous and calculated with the stuff that he lets out as far as information. He's very in charge of his like public perception. He's very choosy with like how he presents himself as far as interviews, different things like that. all that planning that you're doing with how you look to the world, and you still come off as a cornball, bro. Like,
Right.
it's crazy, dog. Like, you're in complete control of this whole situation, and you still look corny, and we still know you ain't real. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, bro, at the end of the day, you can't fake it, bro. It's like this, like you were saying with wrestlers, Joe. Wrestling, you can't fake it, dog. You know, you throw yourself in the ring, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna see the impact. You can't fake it. When you see those guys that be trying to act like, you know, they doing stuff and they trying to take those soft falls and, you know, overacting so they don't get hit and stuff like that, that's when you know, oh, he ain't about this, bro. He ain't about this. And that's Drake, bro. He ain't about it.
You like what we said? I like the Drake with the melodies.
Yeah, I don't like Drake when he acting tough. Dog, I swear that was like, when he said that, I was like, bro, I felt so validated, bro, because that's exactly how I felt. I've been saying that. But yeah, man, it looks like they prepping for Kendrick to come out. Y'all want to stay on for that or what?
Yeah, like I said, I'm with it. Y'all are.
Yeah, I'm with it too. We can kind of just keep talking about stuff, whatever here. We can chop that up for the podcast feed, you know, because obviously just us watching, you know, a concert is not going to do anything. So we'll chop this middle part that we're talking out. Oh, all right, I thought it was going to start. I'm tripping. Let me throw it back.
Junior say like the link to the concert feed is in our bio.
Bet. I'm gonna actually, when I go back to it, I'm gonna load it up in Prime Video because I have Prime, so I won't get any ads. I'm pulling it up right now. Hey, yo.
So I was watching Tupac and Snoop at House of Blues, Two Americans Most Wanted, and this literally brought me back to that. I don't know why it was on there. Like I was just YouTube and I saw that. I was like, fuck it, let me listen to it. And that's this shit brought me back to that.
That's the only time they got me back
to that.
And bro, I was saying in the beginning, this feels like that Michael Jackson concert to me, bro. And it fucking lived up to the hype, bro. Crazy.
Bro, we got a 2 hour and 45-minute show. You gonna cut it up or is it gonna cut a bunch of songs? We got some good moments.
Nah, facts. Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
We'll do a wrap up because I can do a wrap up.
Yeah, let's do a quick wrap.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Imagine being there for that show, though.
Crazy,
yo,
bro.
Epic, dog, epic. I would have felt like a sense of like almost like a hip hop rebirth,
bro.
That would have felt like a hip hop rebirth.
Being out there had to be the craziest feeling.
Ooh, fuck, that was crazy.
Wow, I could not have expected that at all. Like in that capacity, holy hell, bro.
I've been to 100 concerts, 100 festivals. Watching that and picturing myself in that, and that's what I do on occasion. On the weekends, I throw on live performances on YouTube. Like if I was there, I try to do some concert live performances. But what he did tonight, I haven't felt more that I was there than that fucking performance tonight.
Bro,
like I really felt like I was fucking there.
Crazy,
Facts,
bro.
Facts.
That was wild, man. Honestly, bro, I'm just glad that we caught that and we recorded it because, wow, that was epic. That was legendary. That was all time. That's going to be one of those things it's going to be talked about in music forever, bro.
Facts. Wow.
All right, man. Let's get out of here.
Dog, this is crazy. Niggas, stay butter.
Happy Juneteenth.
You feel me?
Peace.